Hello and welcome. This is Meg Benedicte. I just wanted to give you just kind of a brief overview of why we're using this vortex energy in the first place. Part of the reason we want to use this vortex is to keep up with the increasing frequencies, and so that we're not in tension or anxiety or fear. We're able to actually to be in flow with this natural rhythm of the galactic activation. And what I find so interesting about this image, if you can see, up at the top there, we have the spiraling vortex energy of Source, and then the galactic center. And this is where I've always been directed to connect to and tap into the vortex energy, is at the galactic center of our Milky Way galaxy. This is the Metatron's cube actually applied to the neighboring stars, and then of course down at the bottom of the images our sun, and then the crystalline earth that's being birthed at this time. That's why we also want to use the crystalline light to keep up with the ascension of earth. Also back up at the top at the galactic center, then you're going to see right beneath it is the star Sirius. Sirius is actually the gatekeeper of this galactic activation that's occurring right now through the Mayan calendar in this 9th wave. The Sirians are the architects of the current ascension plan, and this is because they are so highly evolved. They're 12-dimensional avatar souls. They're heart-based, very loving race. And my training is actually a Sirian technology, utilizing these natural rhythms of the universe, which is that vortex energy, as you see, of the Godhead, of our galactic center. We've had to rely on external sources of energy, being food, sunlight, oxygen, and then also emotional energy from others. This is a huge source of our life force right now, and this is what we're trying to actually evolve out of and disconnect from, is that parasitic feeding on each other's energy, and really learn how to source ourselves, become self-sustaining with our own flow of source energy, evolve into becoming sovereign beings. When we are more in a dense physical matter, and you see the different colors of the energy centers are resonating with a frequency, the red being the densest or the lowest vibration, and then moving up the color spectrum till we get up to above the crown there of the violet and then beyond. Our goal is to actually integrate and raise our vibration to such a frequency of white light that we are moving white light through every one of our energy center. It's really the entire spectrum of light, so it doesn't separate. So these colors, to me, are a sign of separation. And our goal is to completely eradicate separation and to be living as the soul. So this is where the golden white light of the soul is coming down the core pillar, the 13th to 15th dimensions, where the Godhead is, coming down the core pillar into the body, where every color is united as one in the white light, and every energy center is being fueled, that crystalline white light. So this is our goal. This is what we're heading towards. Now, to get there, the vortex will help us do that, because it will provide the momentum and the acceleration to continue to increase the frequencies and our chakras and our energy centers to the point where they can open and be alive with soul presence. That's our goal, is to get the soul all the way down to that red root chakra in our core pillar and be able to feel that moving up and down our spine, feeling it fueling us. So we use the vortex energy to help with that, because we can then create the vacuum effect to pull that soul light all the way down to our root base there at the pelvic floor. Human consciousness fuels our life. You know, they use the term mind over matter. What that really is human consciousness is directing and coding and commanding our human reality to form. They've discovered that photons are the basic unit for intercellular communication. So information is, this consciousness is coded into the light. The photon carries and then transfers to its destination. So we have within our brains these complex network of microtubules that are transmitting the photon light from the quantum field into the brain, then down from the brain to the receptor sites in our cells. So if you think about it, the photons are like our cars carrying us to our final destination. The photon is carrying human consciousness to the cells to code the cells, inform the cells of how to operate. The source of creation in our universe, light, is how consciousness travels. And so we need to start using light in our meditations to recode ourselves, to design new patterns of behavior and thinking and feeling and operating, because we're living in a bioenergetic organism and it's designed to particulate as matter. Then we can use the photon light in the exchange of information to recode ourselves. So this is why it's so important to use that golden white crystalline photon light as the source of how we're going to heal ourselves and transform ourselves. The photon is actually a wave particle. The light information is coming into our brain as if our mind is like a radio antenna, and it's tuned to a certain bandwidth of brain waves. This is how we can get stuck, actually, though, in certain patterning, especially from the family of origin. If there is generational patterning, this is then looping in the brain waves, and it gets locked in by the magnetic field. And this is our challenge, is how do we remove these patterns of brain waves that are actually destructive or addictive or limiting or debilitating. Okay, this is how the vortex is so powerful, because it can help us unlock and pull the stream of consciousness in these brain waves looping in the brain that is actually not helpful to us or healthy for us. One of the reasons that we use the vortex is to increase our frequency, our vibration. And when we're able to do that, when we're able to raise the core vibration of our bioenergetics, this then raises the range of information that we are accessing in the quantum field. So if you are a human radio antenna, you've been locked on a certain radio station, and it's not been very healthy for you. As you raise your core vibration or energy signature, you then are able to get into other radio stations that are of a higher consciousness, of a higher frequency, more universal intelligence or knowledge. And this is what we're doing. So as we continue to upgrade and raise our core vibration, we're actually altering the frequency in the brain waves, and that then opens the portals or opens the gates for us to access higher knowledge, higher consciousness in the quantum field. And it's all done through this mind over matter, right? It's done through our intent while we're in the spin of the vortex to continue to raise up higher and higher to these higher 12-dimensional regions of our universe.